Okay. Well, I'll just talk about this town then. So the town of Silent Hill, if you just play the game, it like doesn't really make sense. Yeah, that's Mushroom Dust is a path to enlightenment. Why does it keep scrolling down? Jesus, this website. Okay, so the town of Silent Hill is in West Virginia. So the Book of Lost Memories says that the name of that town is Silent Hill. Although it's known as a scenic resort area, it's a cursed place where the town's former inhabitants were once driven away. Brutal executions were once carried out, and a mysterious plague was once prevalent. The town is centered around Toluca Lake, from which the fog perpetually enshrouds the area and makes vague the reality and dreams of those who visit the town. And according to those who have seen them, there are also times when things that should not naturally exist appear. Uh, so I'm trying to find where the Silent Hill is the name of the area after it was colonized. The Native Americans that lived on the land called Silent Hill the place of silent spirits. The Native Americans believed that there were spirits that inhabited the rocks, the trees, the land, and the lake. And before the settlers came and killed the Native Americans, it was a Silent Hill, or the place of silent spirits was uh, it was a sacred place where rituals were conducted. That was pre 16th century. Again, the website froze again. So in 1607 is when the England began colonizing. Began colonizing Silent Hill. 1692, the Salem witch trials occurred in Massachusetts. 1700, Silent Hill was abandoned after a strange epidemic. 1810, Civil War broke out. Silent Hill was then turned into a penal colony, and the Silent Hill prison was constructed. Brookhaven Hospital was constructed, and the town was officially named Silent Hill. So this is why when we play Silent Hill 2, when we actually go to the prison area, but it's not actually there anymore. The 1862, the Toluca prison was built to house POWs, and then that was converted into Toluca prison. It wasn't until 1890 that the first people started began to begin mysteriously disappearing in 1890, and that was after the Native Americans were fully defeated in the West. In the 1900s, it became a tourist prison, and then all throughout the next history of Silent Hill is more disappearances and then it continues to the story. I won't be able to find the quote, but the quote from the game guide in 1999 was that it said that the town held the spirits of the town became corrupted by the events of the settlers. So what happens in Silent Hill is not, it's not just random random stuff. The Jungian psychology of it is what we're seeing is the spirits are manifesting as what James and Eddie and Angela and Laura see. It's a reflection of their inner turmoil. Because if you play it, it kind of seems like, I know at some point some of you guys said that is James dead? Are all of them dead? They don't physically exist anymore. At least when they're in Silent Hill, they're not. At least when they're in Silent Hill, they're not. They're existing in Silent Hill, but they're inside their own mind. But they're not like, it's not, you can't find James. He's not sitting somewhere in a coma or anything. He's actually, I guess, like, I know there's a theory that goes around about multiple dimensions. I don't believe in the multiple dimension theory. I believe they're in Silent Hill. They're not in a multi-dimensional thing. So, yeah, I'm sorry I keep looking up. I'm trying to put together. Because I know you're just seeing this screen. I'm trying to, like, link. And then the website keeps freezing on me, so I gotta wait for it. Jesus. I think they're in the spirit realm. Wow, the website's completely. Christ. So if you go to. So from the Book of Silent Memories. No, sorry, Book of Lost Memories. You can see like it says the nurses in the game, the enemies we fight, the bubblehead nurse, its grotesquely swollen head faces the wrong way, a being that is suggestive of Mary's hospitalization. So that would be like the Carl Jung psychology. It's James's manifestation of Mary's illness. So whatever. So I mean, if you were to go to Silent Hill and you didn't have a problem, you wouldn't see this stuff. It wasn't until the American settlers started killing everyone that changed the spirits of the place. In Silent Hill 1, they can manifest through Cheryl. No, Alessa Gillespie. Because she's highly psychic. Jeez, man. Work. Okay, it finally loaded. So part of the like on the save spots are the red squares, and you in the remake when you activate them, you look, you can see James. The red squares represent James repressing his memory of killing Mary. And I don't have the link to the the tweets, but the developer of Silent Hill said that the red squares also show that James suffocated Mary. So Silent Hill is all a manifestation of what James did. In the Silent Hill, Eddie and Angela go through, or they see it completely different. That's why Laura wasn't killed by any monsters, because she had no she wasn't repressing memories like Angela, Eddie, and James were. So the fight against Mary, that last fight was James finally it's not that James didn't know what he did, it's that he repressed it. And he tried to live with the idea that Mary died 3 years ago. Because that's what he says at the beginning of the game, that Mary died 3 years ago of the disease, but she actually died because of him. And then he repressed that memory, and then he had to come to terms with it. Yeah, apparently she didn't even know Mary. Apparently she didn't even know Mary died. So because she didn't know until Harry, not Harry, the hell, James told her. God, I don't even want to get into the alchemical. Uh, I don't even want to get into the alchemical stuff of Silent Hill. That's. I understand some of it, but that's beyond me. And it's not alchemical alchemy as we think of it. It's alchemy as in the medieval times, squaring the circle and stuff like that. The green line devouring the golden sun. Oh yeah, I don't even know how to begin to. Okay, so you can see here, you can see that James. Remember when I fought the two pyramid heads? Uh, James. Remember James said that he knew why he needed them. It's because the pyramid head is a manifestation of James' subconscious. It takes the form of an executioner of times past. Uh, it's it's a the pyramid heads are creator's commentary. Oh yeah, creator's commentary. Hiroyuki Owaku. He's the one that made it. Pyramid Head wounds Maria again and again to reiterate the actuality of Mary's death and wake James up from his delusion. In other words, something in the depths of James' consciousness is trying to force him to remember his crime. And that would be Jungian psychology at work right there. It's an object making itself known to someone's consciousness to try to force a memory up past the red square. And in alchemy of medieval times, squaring the circle would be not repressing uh, something in your subconsciousness. So what happened, I think, is from what I can tell, James kills Mary, and but he does it believing that Mary wanted to die, and that Mary wasn't completely I don't know, blameless in it. Um, Because if you remember, if you notice the last, so I think what happens is James kills Mary, he suffocates her, and then he represses that after he finds the letter from Mary, because Mary was trying to get him to leave. Because if you notice the way she talked, was one of those things where, like, you're nice to someone and then the next sentence you're mean, and then you're nice again. I don't know what that's called. But, you know, there's some people like that, or bastards. So I think James actually grew to hate Mary. And he probably did like in his mind, it's probably a mercy killing for her. But then he repressed it, and then the events of Silent Hill happened. Because the spirits latched on to that energy of the negative trauma. At least that's my take on it. And then he's trying. I think he's been through this cycle multiple times because I don't have any pictures, man. Because when you go through the game, you see what looks like memories, and then you see everyone dead in Silent Hill looks like James. So either James died multiple times in Silent Hill and he's going through the cycle over and over, or he's just projecting himself onto everyone that's died in Silent Hill. And maybe we play the cycle where James successfully comes to terms or not with what he did. All right. Thanks for watching. The reason why you would not want to, why James would want to, um, why you would not want to repress these things is because in Jungian psychology, it damages the mind and the conscious and subconscious. It's, in Jungian psychology, it's called the shadow, integrating the shadow. And you'll see a lot of stupid, definite, like people try to translate that. It's not integrating the shadow like you're being, oh, now I can be bad, man. No, it's that you have to integrate what you could do as part of you. Or else you'll either repress something and destroy yourself, or you'll eventually destroy other people for it. It'll eventually lash out. Like a simple simple description of that, I'd say, is if someone's a violent person, they might not be violent. They might, and they repress it, they might become extremely violent in life, or they can find an outlet, and maybe instead of being a violent person just in general, they can find their outlet as a fighter, and maybe join the military and become a Army Ranger or something, or join the UFC, and that lets them get that violent tendency out. But if they repress it, they'll eventually enact it in their everyday life if they're a violent person by nature. So they integrate the shadow by finding an outlet instead of repressing their aggressive side. That's an easy way I can think to explain why James went through the process of Silent Hill. He's got to integrate that he was capable of killing Mary. Even if she was at fault for how she treated James. Imagine if I got if imagine if I streamed and you guys subscribed and I told you thank you. But now you guys are forcing me to fucking be here. Now I got to be fucking responsible to you guys for subscribing to be here next fucking day. Do you really want me to be here? I mean, would you eventually grow to resent me if I did that to you guys? And I think that's what Mary did to James. And you can see part of that in her last letter. The mouse, I think it's in one of the tweets from Owaku. The mouth represents Mary's ability to be nice to James and then be angry at him for no reason and then be nice to him again. That's what the mouse represent on the enemies. I have no idea where those tweets are buried at. Damn. That's yeah, so this is how I see Silent Hill 2 from what I've studied and seen. I've only read one book of Carl Jung, so it's not Carl Jung is not an easy read. Especially if you try to go and jump right into something like Ion or something else. Probably the easiest way is to actually watch Jordan Peterson and his Ion lectures or his Carl Jung lectures. Did you ever get back, Toasty? Yeah, I think that's all I can really say about Silent Hills 2 story. Some people can get out of Silent Hill. Some people can't. It depends if they come to terms with the shadow. Oh, and before I forget, the fog of Silent Hill. So the fog of Silent Hill, the reason why the world of Silent Hill changes is because it's a manifestation of um but it's also the because remember the the area by the Native Americans was believed to have spirits inside everything. Okay, here. So the area around Toluca Lake would become Silent Hill, Maine. It was once a sacred place for Native Americans. It was once a sacred place for Native American rituals. Revered as a place of the silent spirits, it was worshipped as a holy land due to its spiritual power that surrounded it. The natives would use the town's power to seemingly talk to their dead ancestors. Around 1607, they were driven out by English settlers. And so this is part of the history. Oh, I never saw this one. So Awaku says that the other world. So we have Silent Hill that we can go to as a tourist, and then you have the other world, and then you have the place that's just the place that we went to. That was the other world was the one that's all decayed and stuff, and then you have the one where you go to where it's just black. That's called the void, or no, it's called nowhere. So you have like 3 levels of Silent Hill existing at the same time. Okay, so the other world in the first game is a world manifested from the depths of a lesser's consciousness. The reason why many items and solutions to riddles that originate from works like Alice in Wonderland and The Wizard of Oz appear in that these are Alessa's favorite books from her childhood. In other words, they indicate that the other world itself is produced by Alessa. So anytime someone has a traumatic experience and hasn't dealt with it, then then they go through Silent Hill's process. It changes the spirits around them. People with darkness in their hearts and a prior connection to Silent Hill are drawn back to the town through their own desires. After years of stress and emotional strain, James kills Mary. I'm not sure where the quote is. Oh, so the fog that goes over Silent Hill is Awaku says in some tweet somewhere that it's the thoughts of the dead rising from the lake. And then the subconscious mind's put on top of that, which is why people disappear and why James, Angela, and Eddie see what they see. And Laura doesn't see anything because she has no trauma associated to Silent Hill. Wonder if there's a good picture of it. So I'm going to use a picture from a YouTuber. So I don't think Silent Hill is a multi-dimensional thing. It's existing in one plane. It's just the spirits and the spirits. Oh, I know what I remember what it's called now. Hold on. Jesus. Man, this website pausing the computer really. Okay. So light order reality is on. The concept is it's light order reality, chaos, void, and psyche make up the universe, and Silent Hill exists. And you have the fog world, then you have Silent Hill, then you have nowhere. Silent Hill Otherworld is the decayed world. Nowhere is the one that is just like the void. It's just nothing. The fog world, or misty world, is a supernatural phenomenon in a resort town of Silent Hill, Maine. Silent Hill was founded around Toluca Lake, from which dense fog and darkness can envelop the area, blurring the distinction between dream and reality for some characters. During this state, elements of the unconscious mind including seemingly impossible monsters and circumstances, can manifest into tangibility. Mirroring the cycles between REM and non-REM sleep, the fog world will periodically shift to a deeper part of the nightmare referred to as Otherworld, or the reverse side. Those with troubled psyches are more susceptible to the fog world, and the town has been known to attract those with darkness in their hearts. I think somewhere Awaka says that Awaku, whoever the developer was, he says that they both don't exist. They all crazy. It's all crazy. It's almost like going into the mind of Bobby Kotick. It's the darkness of DLCs. The darkness of a Call of Duty player. That's what it is. The inner turmoil and grief buying another DLC. Um, I think that's all I can say about the Silent Hill story. This is basically all I know about it. Um, yeah, I mean, without getting into crazy Jungian psychology and shit, and alchemy and mid 1600s alchemy, not modern day alchemy. Um, yeah, that's all I really know about Silent Hill story.